Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real, and we are here for this Liggity Live, where we're gonna talk about Killadelphia issue number 9. You see it up there in the corner. That's what we're gonna talk about. And I probably won't be before you long. I think I want to do this long enough to whet your appetite for the book and get you started kind of fooling with it. You know what I mean? So, because it occurred to me that I keep telling y'all all of these wonderful, wonderful things about Killadelphia, but we never get to have back and forth. Just, you drop a comment here in the notes, you drop a comment there in the notes, and that's pretty much all we talk about. So now I am going to start doing a live feedback. Let's call it a feedback and a follow along, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but we're going to take it real slow. I see Grand Madam always. Thank you, Grand Madam, for being here. Appreciate you. Kamoyo King up in this piece. Thank you, sir. Tip of the hat. President of the Black Panther fan group. Thank you for pulling up. Like, share, and subscribe, just like that man said. So when stuff like this pop off, you could be a part of it. Turn on, oh, goodness. I've been up almost 24 hours. Cup of Joe, so I can go. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Turn on your notifications so you know the situation. Ooh, bars. Yeah, turn on your notifications so you know the situation. Let me see who else up in here. Groovy. You saying hi to Grand Madam. You say nothing to me. I'm playing. What's up, Groovy? I see you up in here. And everybody else that's kind of chilling in the back and gonna dip in as soon as they dip in. But like the pastor say on Sunday morning, I ain't trying to be before you very long. I'm just gonna give you the word and send you on your way. Hopefully, after you get it, you will be excited about Killadelphia. In other news, I might be doing a photo shoot classic Avengers number 45. 45? No, 43. I'm sorry. 43. Avengers number 43. The first appearance of Red Guardian. Anywho, Javon in the building. Good evening to you, sir. Peace. All these folks up in here tonight. Even the folks that ain't saying they're here. Welcome anyway. Cat. Killadelphia issue number 9. In order to put you where you need to be for Killadelphia issue number 9, if you haven't read issues 1 through 8, I'll sum it up for you really quickly. Issues 1 through 6 basically kind of consisted of the plot of former President John Adams and his wife Abigail to overrun Philadelphia with a vampire population. Fortunately, the city of Philadelphia and the Sanksters loked up and kind of squashed that. But what they didn't understand was that was just the opening foray. And they might not even did as good as they did against the vampires if it hadn't been for one Tevin Tompkins, a.k.a. Seesaw, who we're going to see in a couple issues here, who is not only a vampire, but seems to be very, very adept at magic. Now, after all of this stuff was done, we dipping right into the next story arc. Thomas Jefferson got liquidated, destroyed, killed, however you want to put it, for when a vampire gets done. And Abigail took over as the sexy, minxy, evil 90s scantily clad woman vibe looking type of chick. And her approach is just a little bit different. Instead of trying to get people to turn, it's like, look here, this what we doing, roll with it or get rolled over. And to that end, she has gathered to her side one big giant black slave by the name of Jupiter. And this is the cover of issue number 9. These are different facets. And before I go into it, Luis, I don't want to mess NCT, who does the covers for Killadelphia. I know y'all been noticing these really eclectic, artsy kind of covers. It's its own sort of noir when you look at it. You know, it's telling a story, and that's why I decided mainly to take this in an arc, because each square of Jupiter represents a different facet of his life. At least that's D-Real's interpretation, because I ain't gonna spoil it for you until after we talk about Jupiter and his origin, and we'll get to that last. We're gonna do 3 story arcs because there's 3 characters who the focus is really on in this book, and that's James Sangster Sr., Abigail Adams, and Jupiter himself, of course, on the cover. And so let's rock with the one that's a good guy. So if you were following issue 8, James Sangster Sr. had done his part for Queen and Country and got to go to the afterlife. And he went down the river Styx and everything. And if y'all want to check that out, go to my page. Oh, you're on my page. But go to the Killadelphia folder of the playlist, right? And check out issues 7 and 8. But it just talks about the rise of Abigail Adams. And again, James Sangster Sr.'s journey through the afterlife. He met Karen, the ferryman, down the river Styx. Yeah. And he got to get with his wife. And he was really about to get with his wife until all of a sudden, here comes Junior pulling him up out the grave. So he's kind of pissed about that. But Junior doesn't understand that he's pissed about that. And here he is in the car, and Junior's relating the events to him about what happened, and you know, the rapper guy, the Drake knockoff. That's what I'm gonna call him, because that's what he looked like. You see him on the phone there, and Jupiter biting him. He's like a Drake knockoff. I think they called him Blake Scott. Yeah, that was his name. Drake and Travis Scott. They just kind of melded them together. But Sangster Sr. don't like rap music, so that pissed him off even more. I can't be with my wife. My son can't figure nothing out for himself. He got to call me back, and now I'm dealing with this rap shit. You know what I'm saying? So Sangster Sr. is, you know what I'm saying? He little fit to be tied, but nonetheless, he does his job. You know what I'm saying? They link back up with Lieutenant Zimmerman. I like Lieutenant Zimmerman because Lieutenant Zimmerman is kind of like, you know, that angry boss dude. You know what I mean? And they all got together and went to Hell Hall, which was the building where they had a huge nest of vampires, and they just kind of flamed that up. You know what I mean? And that was the end of that. But in the midst of all of that, you know, Sangster Jr. comes to the conclusion of what he thinks Abigail Adams is really doing. And he thinks, you know, it's not that she wants, you know, to just take over. She wants to send a message. And the message is no matter where you are, you ain't safe. Because you got to remember, Jupiter went in there in the governor's mansion and murdered the governor, and vampires got in there and got to the governor. So if the governor of Pennsylvania can be murdered, what kind of fear is that sowing? You know what I mean? So what he say, Killadelphia Jupiter is a Kendrick fan? Yes, he is, because Blake ain't like us. But anyway, Sangster Sr. always ends up having to be the one to come up, with the bright ideas. You know what I mean? And he comes up with the bright idea of being able to go to Chestnut Hill, where Abigail Adams kind of hangs her hat. And, all vampires are kind of connected in this mythos. So it ain't so much detective work as it is kind of like following the link. And then they end up at Abigail Adams' spot. And that right there is what's waiting on them. A bunch of naked, horny, hoe vampires. Well, not horny, but hungry. Bunch of naked, hungry hoe vampires that, well, we didn't see what happened. You're going to have to come back for issue 10 to see what happened when Lieutenant Zimmerman and the Sangsters and Jose take on a brothel of vampires. So that's what's happening with that story arc. And the second story arc is more about Abigail Adams. And we kind of see the gist of what Abigail Adams wants to do right here. Abigail Adams was basically the wife of a president when she was alive. So I want that kind of life where I don't have to do nothing. I could just sit on my butt and enjoy all this blood and have people doing and going and being for me. And she's explaining this to young Brittany. Now, I don't know if y'all been following. Young Brittany is a vampire child, kind of like Kirsten Dunst's character in Interview with the Vampire. But she had a sister that got turned too. But the vampire magic that we saw in the first arc was used to turn her back into a human being as she grew up. But Brittany doesn't want anything to happen to her sister. But at the same time, Brittany doesn't want to not be a vampire. She enjoys being a vampire. You know, see what I'm saying? She walking down the street at night, hoping a pervert to find her so she can eat him. Pause. But that essentially is this part of the story arc where she's telling Brittany, no, I don't want to wipe the humans out. I just want to make them my slaves. So is that really any better than what your husband was doing? He trying to create a new system. You trying to create a new system. It seems like all this system creation is kind of trash. But the Sangsters had it dead on when they said that Abigail Adams is trying to sow terror. And to that end, knocked out a tower and took over a television station. And look at her ripping that guy's throat out on the bottom panel. And so it ain't no fun if the homies can't get none. And Bizam, there's Toppy back there in the back going wild, and Afro Soul Sister and Mohawk Vampire, they all getting it in. So they done took the television station, and that is just the first step of Abigail Adams' reign of terror. But there are other things going on that will be sold up in the story of Jupiter. Jupiter, our big, giant, scary slave from the previous issue, he's literally telling us his story. And his story, we kind of saw a little teeny tiny bit of it, where we saw he was a slave that belonged to Thomas Jefferson, and he didn't know that he belonged to Thomas Jefferson. He thought him and Thomas Jefferson was friends until he got whipped for sassing Thomas Jefferson. And that's when he learned he wasn't a person, he was a thing. And then on top of that, when he was a child, his parents got sold. So they're creating isolation purposely in Jupiter. They're making Jupiter an isolated, introverted being. And if you look at him on this next one, that's all he does is keeps his nose in his work and minds his business, even though he sees everything going on around him, like Thomas Jefferson getting married to Martha Wells. But we know Martha Wells died at some point in the marriage. And so along come the slaves and Sally Hemings, and we all know about Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings. Right? And at one point, Thomas Jefferson decided he was going to let Jupiter have a little bit of joy. And Jupiter got married to a slave named Suck. Run that back for me one more again. Jupiter married a slave. Yeah, sure did. Her name was Suck. Thomas inherited her from his father-in-law's estate. She opened my soul to love, a sliver of joy in a darkened corner of hell. So that's basically what Jupiter's life was like. Imagine that. Just day after day after day of hell. With just a little bit of sparks of joy. A little bit of spark of joy here. Little happy thing happen here. You know what I mean? So that was making Jupiter a very bitter and angry being, even as a vampire. So now that we know what happened to him that made him this big giant rage machine, it was because of Thomas Jefferson. But at one point, after he had been bought by Abigail Adams, and this is a part I didn't put, that's why I say I don't put every picture that's in the book in there, but we'll just call this off frame. Abigail Adams, after he's Abigail Adams' property, Abigail told him, go over to Thomas Jefferson house and see what's popping with him. And that's what was popping with Thomas Jefferson. It's unclear if Abigail Adams sent those vampires or John Adams sent those vampires, but whatever the case was, I guess their whole thought process was, well, since you like to mess with the black women so bad, we got a surprise for you. And the sisters are eating Thomas Jefferson. But apparently they don't have the control the vampires have and release the saliva. So we'll get to the saliva in a second. He's asking Jupiter to help him, but Jupiter's like, no, that's what the F you deserve, player, for how you did me. And here he is with his last act. Well, not last act, but after vampirizing Blake Scott, he surrenders himself and goes into the police department. The police department put him in lockup, and he goes wild biting people in lockup. Now, you got a bunch of crazy ass inmates running out of the jail that's vampires. And Jupiter got a mission that he want to go on. What that mission is, you're going to have to tune in and check out Killadelphia number 10 and see what Jupiter's mission is. After he bites everybody in the jail and leaves them running wild in the streets, he's like, I got other things to do. Do you? Yes, indeed. Abby is wilding. Abby got a whole agenda, and we're gonna see how that agenda turns out in a couple scant issues. So now that I got your curiosity piqued and I got you open to what's going on, well, I think I got you open to what's going on. Is this too segmented, broken, or have we really turned a corner? It is a very, very fun read, Grand Madam. Rodney Barnes is absolutely amazing at what he does. But I mean, we expect no less. I mean, Rodney Barnes has written movie scripts and television shows and novels, and you know what I'm saying? So he's into this horror thing. And he's a brother. Rodney Barnes is a brother. You know, I wouldn't be kicking Killadelphia at y'all. Well, I would if it was something nostalgic. It wouldn't matter what color, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing Got You Man and Space Ghost. Because for me, that kind of stuff is nostalgia. But with Killadelphia here, you combine the art and the storytelling. It is a awesome read. Kamayo say, for a vampire or werewolf, that is a brilliant way to grow an army. Just get arrested. Dude, I thought that was nuts when I first read it, and I'm like, y'all gonna put him in lockup? That's probably a horrible idea. And as you can see, it was. But the vampire's whole goal is to just have Philadelphia teeming with nothing but vampires. They trying to do what Dracula did in Marvel Comics, have their own nation. But ain't no superheroes, or well, ain't no superheroes yet. Now, don't you go trying to overanalyze it and think about it a little more than you need to. Just come take the ride with your boy and learn as I show it to you. You feel me? And another thing I wanted to talk about, I know I had told y'all about the cover, but I'm gonna bring it back to what I meant. See here? Well, let me move this stinking comment. Well, it's not a stinking comment, but let me move the comment. So the facets of this cover, upper left, you got him as a child. You see what I'm saying? Impressionable, young, thinking everything's Thomas Jefferson's my friend. Thomas Jefferson's my homie. Thomas Jefferson's my boy. No, the hell he ain't. And he showed you that you wasn't his boy. So then when you go to the lower left, that's what you are to me. You are a slave. So I give you a muzzle. Shut the F up and shoe my horses and fix my wagon and whatever other crazy job I got for you to do. You know what I'm saying? And then we go over here to the lower right, and he's already got fangs. And that's when Abigail Adams turned him. And she was doing more than turning him, but y'all gonna find that out. She didn't just turn him, she turned him out. But yeah, I need coffee. I'm on super duper automatic, baby. I get done with this video, I'm crashing the F out. But yeah, he's a vampire now, and so he's learning the ways of vampires, and over 150 plus something years, well, not even 150, but like 130. 130 years, he's a vampire and a slave. Still a vampire, still a slave. Enter the top right. That's a vampire enraged. And what is an enraged vampire going to do? We done already seen a couple examples in Killadelphia where vampires, if they have a strong enough will, they can resist the control of their masters. Sort of like how James Sangster Sr. did. He somewhat resisted the control. And now you're looking at, we can't forget Tevin Tompkins, a.k.a. Seesaw, telling everybody, F you, I ain't doing ish. You know what I'm saying? That young brother, he just got attitude. But I know we've been wondering, where's Tevin been? Where's Tevin at? You will be surprised where Tevin is. We're going to find out where Tevin is in the next couple issues and what Tevin's up to. That too will shock the hell out of you. Now, vampires in this world can also be turned back into humans. There is magic that allows that to happen. We see it with Brittany's sister. So we know that exists, but the general public ain't aware of that. You see what I'm saying? The general public doesn't know, oh, there's a magical cure for vampirism. Oh my goodness, just cast that spell. And this ain't no fairy tale. This here nightmare, y'all. This is a whole nightmare. Can you imagine a vampire infestation in your town? Grand Madam, what would Baltimore be like with a bunch of vampires running wild? Come on, yo. What would Louisiana be like? I can imagine what Louisiana would be like. A bunch of vampires running wild. Texas, Kansas City, hell, New York. Grand Madam say no different at all. Vampires on the street biting the crap out of everybody. See, y'all live. Y'all see. Bourbon Street on a Tuesday. It's vampire. Remind me not to go on Bourbon Street on a Tuesday. Great, what's up? You just missed the whole review, bro. Y'all got to get here on 8x5x11 people time. Or as my homie like to say, them styrofoam people. Gray, have you been keeping up with Killadelphia? Because if you in this chat, that mean you know a little something about something and something. Did I just say that out loud? A little something about something and something. That's 4 somethings. Anywho, also, Kamoyo, you will be very, very happy about future issues. Because if y'all watched, I had a little side video I did about Elysium Gardens. I know Kamoyo watched it because Kamoyo, hell, his Twitter handle is werewolf. So I know I know he likes it. But the rest of y'all, man, if y'all ain't watched that Elysium Gardens video that I put out a couple days ago, you might want to check that out too, because that's going to figure heavy into the story later on. And if you don't know what's up, you're just going to be like, what the howling's up in here too? And you ain't gonna know nothing about it. You know, what the? There is an entire playlist on this page titled Killadelphia. You can get caught up if you are not caught up now. Please check it out. Story by the Rodney Barnes. I noticed, Kamoyo, you tagged the Rodney Barnes. Hopefully the Rodney Barnes thinks highly of this or thinks something of it. If he did, in fact, bother to, come through, check it out. I know he's a busy guy. He a busy guy. Rodney, if you get a chance, sir, to check this video out, check it out. Tell me what you think. I mean, this ain't the deep review. I mean, I could give a 45-minute review and just talk about the art and some of the things that I see in the art and in the writing, and it's a lot of layers to peel back with Killadelphia. And if you ever get a chance to see this, and I don't ever get a chance to say it to you, thank you, sir, for bringing us Killadelphia. All 35 issues of it up to this point. And I'm only getting ready to drop review on issue number 10 tonight. And then y'all can sit and chat about that on Wednesday. And when you want to do the live discussion for 10 is going to come out Wednesday. Should we include the live discussion for issue number 10 in Thursday's live? Ooh, there's an idea. Ooh, my Shaq face. So, yeah, we will more than likely, we will definitely do that. But y'all tell me, what y'all think about Killadelphia? Those of y'all that ain't fooling with it, are you going to start fooling with it? Come on, don't be bashful. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me how you feeling. Tell me what you want me to do. I'm delirious. I'm sorry. Well, there's one person. He digs it. So me and Kamal, you're going to vibe. Yes, this is an attempt to get y'all into it. Get involved. What I always say, I'm not putting every single page of the book in these videos. I want y'all to go and read it for yourselves. It's very good reading. It is very, very well written. Yes, I think we don't need to belabor the point. I thank everybody who came in here tonight, and I hope y'all get up on Killadelphia. Like I said, I can't say enough about it. It's a very, 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 very good read. It is steeped in Black culture, and it is steeped in the supernatural. It is steeped in Easter eggs, and if you blink, you'll miss a cameo by a famous person, a literary character, a movie character, a TV character. That's how it's going down in Killadelphia. So you want to keep your eyes peeled and know what's going on when things are popping off in Killadelphia. Questions? Wow. Hey, Profess. Hey, Profess. You just popped out, bro. You're going to have to watch the review, dog. You're going to have to watch the review. I'm so sorry. I've been up. Yeah, it's official. 24 hours. I got to put it down. I got to put it down, y'all. I'm running on fumes. This coffee got me going, but I'm just going on fumes. Look here, y'all. Be looking out tonight for the the review of Killadelphia issue 10 wheeling its way to you, Eden, as we speak. Probably be midnight Eastern. What time is it now? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, midnight Eastern. So y'all pull up for that. Y'all pull up for that. Y'all pull up for that. That's it for now, y'all. But fret not. Wait a minute. There. That's it for now, y'all. But fret not. I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good and be good to each other. Thanks for rocking with it, brother.